Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. It's August 28th. It's time for another mortgage rate update. The media is talking about how rates are the lowest levels. There's a lot of good information out there, but there's also a lot of misinterpretation. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I had a client send me an article yesterday that said the media said the 30-year rate was under 2%. It's not under 2%. We are seeing the lowest rates we've ever seen in history, but we've seen them two other times. We saw them in 2012 and we've seen them in 2016. And that is ultimately what I think is keeping rates at our current level, which is a very good thing. So yes, we have the lowest rates we've ever seen in history, but they're as low as they were in 2012 and 2016. So let's jump into the data and take a peek at why. All right, so as always, we're gonna start off looking at the 10-year Treasury. It's publicly accessed. You guys can follow this on your stock app. I say this every single time. So let's look at this first. Now you'll see a very obvious pattern here. We have been flatlined for the last, I don't know, what is that, 60 days? We're looking at a 3-month look back here. So we were hovering between 2 and about 210 is where we were. And then you can see the 10-year started to drop, which means rates are going down. And now today, we have a new pattern starting. So over the last 7 to 10 days, we have rates, the 10-year is sitting around 1.6 to 1.5. Today we broke below 1.5 and we're looking at like 1.47. But if you look at this tiny little line, what this means is it bounced off of that. So we're staying in this very narrow trading range, which is a good thing. That means rates are holding at this current level. Now, the reason I say that the 10-year is not a perfect science is because we also have to look at the other side of the coin, which is mortgage-backed securities. So if we jump over and look at mortgage-backed securities, you'll see a little bit of a different trend. Now, with mortgage-backed securities, up is a good thing. Up means rates are going down. So this chart is inverse to what we were looking at on the 10-year. Now here we go again. Same pattern, narrow trading window over the last, 60 days. But then you'll see here that, remember, on the 10-year, we had a drop. We had a dramatic drop, but we aren't seeing that on mortgage-backed securities. They're trading in a very narrow range. And this is, it's a good thing. It's holding rates where we currently are. So that's a good thing to see. Now, when I say 2016, I want to show you what's going on with a longer look back. So if we take the mortgage-backed securities we're looking at now and we go back to 2016, what you'll see here is why I'm saying that rates are holding at the same levels they were in 2016. So if I draw a line straight across here, you will see that, remember, when mortgage-backed securities are higher, rates are lower. So in 2016, it was slightly higher than where we are now, which means rates they're basically the same as where they are now. This red line right here that you see, this was the election. So this was the election day, and this was following the election. So we're back to the best levels we've seen since the election. Now, if we look at this same chart, but we look at the 10-year Treasury, you're going to see why the media is telling you that rates are lower. Because the 10-year is the lowest it's ever been, but not by much. What you'll see here is we're sitting about 1.4, and we are just barely slightly lower than where we were. Come on, Sean, you can draw a line. We're just slightly lower than where we were in 2016. So rates are the best they've been. Take advantage of it while you can. If you haven't refinanced yet, you really should look into it. It's almost a no-brainer, but for some it makes sense, some it doesn't. But you should at least get that information and know what you're looking at. If you're looking at buying a home, you're getting the best interest rates we've seen in history. So, waiting for a better rate is not really a logical reason to hold off on buying. So if you have any questions, let me know. Feel free to leave comments below. Thank you guys so much. I'll have another update for you next week. Talk to you soon.